Hey, it's Ronan Segal, your accordion teacher, and today we're speaking about patterns. Patterns show up all the time in music. What we're speaking about today are melodic patterns, patterns on our right hand, specifically patterns using the notes that make up a chord. Patterns using the notes that make up a chord. This is part of the May monthly challenge. Every month on Accordion Love, we do a monthly challenge open to Accordion Love students. But patterns in music. Patterns show up all the time in music. Left-hand patterns, chord patterns. What I wanted to talk about today was right-hand patterns of notes that make up a chord. Let me break that down and I'll show you what the challenge is. A chord is made up of three notes. If we take the C major chord, it's made up of the C, the E, and the G notes. Together, they form a chord. Separately, they're not a chord. Separately, they're just notes. We call that a triad. We call that a chord voicing. We call that an arpeggio. But I want you to remember the numbers 1, the first note of the chord, 3, the third note of the chord, and 5, the fifth note of the chord. We're going to make up a pattern. There's a beginner version of this challenge, and then let me explain the more advanced versions and the application, why this is important. Let's come up with a random pattern, or trying to come up with a random pattern using those numbers, 1, 3, 5. I'll come up with one, 5, 3, 5, 5, 1, 1, 3, 5. Let me share my screen. I'll write it down because it's a little bit hard to remember. We said 5, 5, 3, 5, 1, 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1. It doesn't matter. Let me try and play this. This is a pattern. Let's try and play it over a C major. Every time there's a 1, I'm pressing the C. Every time there's a 3, I'm pressing the E. And every time there's a 5, I'm pressing the G. So reading this, it's 5, 5, 3, 5, 1, 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1. It doesn't say whether this is a polka. It doesn't say how long to hold each note. So let's play this and try and make it musical. I'll split it up into measures of 4. 5, 5, 3, 5, 1, 1, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 1. Let's try and play this. So, a little bit boring, but let's try and make this a bit more musical. Your May monthly challenge is to come up with a pattern that's of a significant length. This is a pattern, but it's a little bit too short. To come up with a pattern. So, again. Wonderful. It's not complicated, but there's power in the 1 note, the 3 note, and the 5 note of a chord. The same thing can apply to a minor chord. Let's build an A minor. Same shape as a C major. We just slide it down to the A minor. It's the 1 note, A, the 3 note, C, the 5 note, and E. If I'm to play the same pattern over an A minor, wonderful. That's the May monthly challenge for beginners. Advanced players, try and put a rhythm under it using your left hand. In the A minor, I'm going to oompa an A minor and play these notes. Yeah, that sounds musical. Let's do the same pattern in another key. Let's do it in D major. My 1 note, my 3 note, and my 5 note. Over again. We're a little bit limited when we play just the 1, 3, and 5. My fingers want to use other notes of the scale. But again, this month's challenge is about coming up with some simple patterns, and if you're able to accompany it with your left hand. More advanced players, see if you could change the bass notes and still make it beautiful. So I'm going to try it in D major. A hint is to stick to the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the minor 2 chord. In D major, that's the D is the 1 chord, the G is the 4 chord, the A is the 5 chord, and E minor is the minor 2. Yeah. Good. Why is this important? I have a lesson on Accordion Love called Advanced Chord Voicings in Practice. The melody of a song so many times is written using the 1 note, the 3 note, and the 5 chord of a song. The bass section of a song is also written using the 1 note, the 3 note, and the 5 note. If we're to play a polka, I'm going to use my loop pedal. That's why I'm putting on my headphones. I'm going to record, let me clear the loop. I'm going to play using C major, a pattern. So my left hand is going to go, let's just use our right hand. I'm going to record a 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. That's what a bass player, a tuba player does. Wonderful. That's 1, 5. Another player can play this. Let's try a pattern of 3, 5, 1 or 1, 5, 3, 5, 1. 1, 5, 3, 5, 1. There's my polka. Over this I can play a melody. Right there's my 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. That's the alternate bass technique. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. In the middle, 1, 5, 3, 5, 1, or 3, 1, 5, ta-ta, or I can add any of those things to the 1, 5, 1, 5. Let's try another combination of 3 and 5 together, maybe. There's a really nice polka song. Again, the 1 note, the 3 note, and the 5 note are the most powerful notes in music. We use them to construct the foundation of music, and we use them to construct melody as well. That's this month's challenge. Again, to reiterate, come up with a pattern using the 1 note, the 3 note, and the 5 note of a chord of your choosing. Don't switch chords. Choose a chord, B flat, and come up with a pattern like 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1. There it is. 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1. And then 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1. Wonderful. More advanced players? Sorry, beginner players, just the right hand. More advanced players, introduce your left hand too in a rhythm. More advanced players, see if you could change chords. Etc. This will really help you understand the foundations of music, get you familiar with chord voicings and shapes. The 1, 3, 5 is constant in music. And if you're looking for more information, head on over to accordionlove.com in the Beyond the Basics section, Applied Chord Voicings in Practice. Thank you.